In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, this is an occasion to record my first lesson for physics students, young and old alike. I would like to put on record that physics is a very interesting subject. In fact, it is one of the very important subjects which is associated with the activities of the universe and the at least the world that we are living in, we are born in, and we are trying to understand the various phenomena associated with the sciences of all kinds. The explanation goes through the activities of doing physics. Learning physics has been my endeavor ever since I was introduced to the subject in 1961 after the summer vacations as a separate subject from the composite subject of sciences in my high school classes. And since then, till now, since learning is a continuous process, and today I am learning for the first time to record my experiences for the benefit of my thousands of students all over the globe who are now parents and who try to help their children and their near and dear ones with the subject of physics. Well, one of the very important things about physics has been and is that we learn through the subject of physics, we learn to know about what is the truth. One of the things which appears on the board, which doesn't appear too legibly, is UQVA. And you question and we answer. Because questioning is an instinct which, as said by one of the Islamic scholars, is a good question is half ilm. And ilm encompasses the entire knowledge and also the technology, all aspects of life. And today, in this first lesson, I will just say that I am not going to go into the various stories which are told about the number system, the measurement system, and Lord Kelvin, and this and that. Everything that you are told by the classroom teachers, and also which is the narrative in the books. But about this, I would like to tell you that, and everybody knows, all of you are aware of the great teacher, the teacher Plato, Aflatun, who was the mentor of, who was the teacher of Aristotle, who is also known by the word Aristu. And all over the Islamic world and the Christian places of knowledge, everywhere, Aristotle has been a big name. Aristotle was the guru, he was the teacher of, he was the mentor of Alexander the Great. And what he did was that his teacher, the great Plato, had many explanations for many phenomena. And when he took over, or he started his own way of thinking, he explained many things which were different from the ways of Plato. In the pursuit of knowledge, question has a very important value. Saluni asked a question, was said by the Caliph Ali ibn Abi Talib. So, in the due course of time, for the rise and the development of humanity, a query, a question has been very important. When Aristotle was very famous, and he had already criticized Plato many a time, he opposed the very views of Plato. Then some of the other disciples, and who were great scholars, of course, themselves, they questioned and they said that Aristotle, he has success over his head, so much so that he is now very, very critical of the great teacher Plato. That was from this corner and that corner and everywhere, and this criticism was coming for Aristotle. Aristotle could have ignored, because he thought himself to be a great teacher and he had co-workers of great vision. But Aristotle chose to defend himself. And what he said at that time in Greek, which traveled to us through Arabic and Latin, and now I'm giving you the version, English version, as we know today, that he said, Plato is dear to me. Plato is dear to me, but dearer still is the truth. So the truth is supreme, and it is in the search of the real truth that physics has evolved. Aristotle's theories, Aristotle's outlook, they were there for centuries. And in every institute of knowledge, Aristotle was quoted as the final word. But there came Galileo and a new phase of development of science that evolved, went through Newton, Leibniz, etc., till it was again questioned in the 1990s by the discovery of Planck's constant. Einstein followed him, and many people who were as important as Einstein. We are not supposed to hero worship. Anybody and everybody who contributes to knowledge, because maybe today it is much difficult with thousands and thousands of people working in the pursuit of knowledge, with lots of training, to find something as fundamental as, say, the theory of relativity or the general theory of relativity given by Einstein, etc. Since my audience now is the young children and their parents, so I will, because I have learned physics throughout from 1961 to date, to this time, and I want to confess one more thing. For the young teachers, I want to share with them is that today, whatever I know through my training at my graduate level, postgraduate level, and beyond, when I was a student and teacher for a couple of years at the IIT Delhi, and thereafter since 1971 I was teaching in the Aligarh Muslim University for a short while, for a couple of months. I was again engaging myself with the students of the University of Science and Technology, People's Republic of China. And then, after my retirement from the Aligarh Muslim University, I was for about 8 years a teacher teaching to the students of an engineering college in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. One of the things I want to share, as I said and I emphasize, that maybe 20% of whatever knowledge I have and I'm going to share with you, this I learned from the interactions with my teachers, with the books, with the libraries, with my colleagues, and the rest of the 80% I learned from my dear students. And I mean it, from the students who dare to question. So after my confessions about whatever and howsoever I know the subject, little bit of it. There is nothing final, and there will be different answers in different ages, different times, and in the due course of time, when I take up the lessons, and I will tell you very small things, bit by bit, to strengthen your physics and to make you enjoy your physics. Let me tell you one thing, that since this was the first recording, I was a bit cautious to address everyone around the globe who knows English, but in the ensuing lectures, when I am teaching you, I will use a mixed language, a language which will have English and Urdu or Hindi or whatever we call it, Hindustani, which is understood by still large audience, and I promise to you to bring the subject with a bit of humor. I will not be as serious as I look to be right now, and in my flow I will not be even so slow in my utterances. So in my coming endeavors, in my coming recordings, I will address those aspects which help us doing physics, and which, like any aspect of knowledge, while we are doing physics, we have done physics, we think of doing more, we must enjoy. We should not be worried at all about some people, they think that it is a subject with a lot of gravity, and others, particularly unfortunately in our coaching institutions, they coach physics with big banners, big names, which are in fact dwarf, यानी वो बौने लोग हैं जो बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं। हमें ये खुशी है कि हम इस वक्त एड्रेस कर रहे हैं यंग ब्रेन्स को, जिनके अंदर दम है, जिनका पोटेंशियल हमारे पोटेंशियल से ज़्यादा है, जो सीख भी सकते हैं, जो एंजॉय भी कर सकते हैं। So any physics that we do here, I will not insist on a formula physics. In fact, the physics starts after the formula has been derived with the help of mathematics and geometry, etc., etc. Well, still what we have to do is that we have to absorb physics and enjoy physics. So in the upcoming lectures, the emphasis will be on mixed language. The emphasis will be on small things which people often ignore. मुझे याद पड़ता है कि पिछले सेंचुरी का जो सबसे बड़ा फिजिक्स का टीचर था, जिसका नाम रिचर्ड फिनमैन है, नोबेल laureate था, तो उसने अपने इंट्रोडक्शन में एक चीज बताई जो मैंने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी में कभी नहीं, नेवर आई हैड ए चांस टू लुक एट दैट थिंग. उसने ये बताया कि उसके टीचर थे जो हाई स्कूल में उसको पढ़ाते थे, और उन्होंने एक लॉ बताया उसको कहते हुए अच्छा नहीं लगता, उनको एक लॉ बताया उनको कि देयर इज ए लॉ ऑफ लीस्ट एक्शन, एंड विद दैट ही एंजॉयड डूइंग कॉम्प्लेक्स फिजिक्स in a very simple manner. So, we go in the next lectures and hope then you will enjoy much more than what you are doing now. Bye for now.